I swear I'm a professional at this. Welcome back. We are back. We are back. It's good to be back. Got a good one for you today. Emmanuel Navarrete, Oscar Valdez. We're going to get into the whole dang card. And it's a good one. It's a nice little card. We're going to break it all down for you. Going to get into the whole card. Going to look at some locks. Going to look at some parlays. We're going to break down everything on the card. Let's go over the card with y'all real quick. Obviously, we have Navarrete and Valdez. We have Espinosa and Rubesi Ramirez. Delgado versus Jackson Martinez. Giovanni Santillan and Frederick Lawson. This is not a bad card at all. Richard Torres is on it versus Isaac Munoz. Demler Zamora, D3, DJ, against Roman Ruben Reynoso. Alberto Gonzalez, Al Pereira, Steven Navarrete, and Cesar Morales are all on the card. So you got a nice looking card. Nice looking card for sure. We'll get into all of it. Let's take a look at the book. Let's see what we have on here. Get rid of that. And guys, let me know at any point if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. Super chats are always appreciated as well. Super chats are always appreciated. All right, we can basically start with this. Giovanni Santillan versus Frederick Lawson. It's a no-brainer. You can take Santillan and feel a rest easy with that. Same thing with Richard Torres and Isaac Munoz. This is Richard Torres, and I think you could take it by stoppage too. I wouldn't hesitate to do it. Now Torres had his knockout streak stopped. Torres had his knockout streak stopped, but he got a DQ win, and in betting, a DQ is just as good as a knockout. So when they do add props to this, come on over to the Patreon. We're going to show you. I'm willing to bet Torres gets the stoppage over Isaac Munoz as well. So I want to take a look at that when that does drop. Look, I hate things that are minus 6,000. Minus 3,000 I can live with. Minus 3,500 I can live with. Minus 6,000, I just don't want anything to do with it. He's a 60-1 favorite. That means Demler Zamora, Roman Ruben Reynoso. I don't know much about him. D3 is a good-looking prospect, strong kid, good boxer, good height, good range. He's a nice little fighter. We've seen him on a bunch of top-ranked cards. We've seen him on some PBC cards. We've seen him a bunch now. And he's a solid prospect out of Las Vegas. He should win this fight, but at minus 6,000, I don't see any use. It's not worth the risk, right? Like, he's not going to bring your parlay down that much at minus 6,000. And like, what if something crazy happened? I would stay away from putting that on my lock. Just don't touch it at all. Look, I'm sure Zamora's going to win. He's a great kid. He's a good fighter. But it's just, to me, at minus 6,000. The same thing with Steven Navarro at minus 5,000. I just don't see any point in adding that to your parlay. It's not. Look, this two-leg parlay with Santillan and Torres is minus 1,250. If I add Demler Zamora to it, it goes from 1,250 to 1,000. It's just not worth it. Art Barrera, 6-0 prospect, fighting Juan Carlos Campos Medina, 4-1 prospect out of Mexico. He lost to Yoel Angelino on a Pro Box card. This, again, I would stay away. Rocket coming through with the super chat. Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, Rocket. You the man. Thanks for dropping by, my dude. Thank you for dropping by with the super chat. It is always appreciated, Rocket. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, super chats. I'm just going to go through these, give you my thoughts, and I'm going to be going live every day this week, so I appreciate everyone dropping by. I'm going to get into this. Appreciate you, Rocket. You the man. Always. Art of Barrera. Stay the hell away from this fight. Barrera is a really good fighter out of California, 6-0, 4 knockouts. We've seen him on a couple of cards, a couple of top ranked cards. Good looking prospect, hasn't fought since July. Before on the in Las Vegas back in July on a Raymond Muay Thai Tevin Former card. He's good. He's a good fighter. The problem is Juan Medina is a good fighter too. And at minus 3,500, again, this is not worth it. I don't think Juan Medina is going to win, but I don't think he's totally outclassed and outmatched. And I think making Barrera a 35-1 favorite, which he functionally is, a 35-1 favorite is ridiculous. I don't know if they know how good Medina is, but I would not touch this. If I were to bet on this, and I'm almost certainly going to lose my money, I would bet on Medina at plus 1,100. But that spread is way too wide. That's way too much juice that the bookie is making. I would stay away from this fight too. Minus 3,500. Barrera is close to a lock, but I don't think he's. That's too wide. That is way too wide of a spread. He should be minus 2,000 at the most. 1,800, 1,500, something like that. 3,500 is insane. That is an insane line. He has a better chance of losing than Gonzalez. I would say he's got an equal chance of losing as Landolfo Delgado, who we'll get into. I've brought you a couple of videos. The only one I've done, I've done two of them. Never mind. That's just way, way, way too wide. I would lay the hell off of this fight unless you want to roll the dice on an upset at plus 1,100. I don't think it's going to hit, but it's better. It makes more sense than betting this. I would not bet Barrera on the money line at all. I'd scratch that. It's just it's way too wide for what it is. This is a good competitive fight, and you're going to see that come Saturday night. This is a good scrap. It's a really good scrap. After that, we get to Albert Gonzalez and Gerardo Valdez. Let me look at this real quick. Albert Gonzalez, 11-0 featherweight, 7 knockouts, decent pop. Solid prospect. Not running away. And he's got a win over Conrad Martinez, a 9-1 prospect out of Odessa, Texas, who I'm familiar with. He's certainly going to win the fight. He's fighting a opponent level guy, 12-6-1 out of Mexico. I'm sorry, Argentina, Gerardo Antonio Perez. I can do that. I'll do that. Remind me. Send me a message, Rocket. I'll do that for you. I can do that. 100%. Rocket wants my top 5 picks. I'm going to do that. Albert Gonzalez should win this fight. The Argentinian fighters, they're always tough. They always come to fight. Minus 2,000 is not terrible. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't win. I would take Gonzalez on this for sure. So I'd basically lay off these three. Zamora, Navarro, Barrera. I would lay off of these. Landolfo Delgado and Jackson Martinez. I like Delgado, and we got no props on this either. I like Delgado by decision. I like Delgado by decision. And Martinez is a solid fighter. Jackson Martinez got robbed with Rolly Romero. This is not an easy fight. And minus 800 may be a little wide. but I definitely like Delgado to win. Marinez, who's out of the Dominican Republic, I'm glad he's got this shot. He lost to Frank Martin in, in a fight that he was competitive in until he got knocked down in the 9th and 10th round. He got destroyed by Richard Comey, and he lost to Rody Romero in a fight he probably deserved to win. He has a win over Yardley Cruz and Kenan Betancourt. He's just falling short at the highest level. So this is the fight that tells us what level Delgado is at. I think I'm finna do a video on this. I think I'm gonna do a video. You guys want a video on this fight? I think this is a competitive enough fight where we can get a video. If you remember, Delgado got really challenged by Brian Flores in his last outing. He got really tested. Split decision. And Flores lost the point for low blows in the 7th in a really, really close fight. Where the knockdown and the low blow, those 2 points there is what decided the fight. Prior to that, he was fighting Carlos Sanchez at the Desert Diamond Arena in Arizona, in Phoenix, in Glendale. And he was struggling with Sanchez until he got the knockdown in the 5th and the knockout in the 7th. But he was struggling in that fight. So his last 2 fights, Delgado, who's an old-world prospect, who everyone likes, who I think the world of too, did not look great. He didn't look fantastic in his last 2 fights. He did struggle a bit. So that is interesting. That's interesting. Hitchin struggles with the weight, and IBF do same day weigh-ins. You might want to swerve, JS. It's an interesting point, Rambler. It's an interesting point. It's a fair point. It's absolutely a fair point. The IBF, Rambler is correct, has the same day weigh-ins. So factor that in as well. I forgot what I was talking about. I just totally, my brain just skipped on me a second. And then the main event and co-main, the 2 big fights of the evening. Espinosa and Robeisy Ramirez is basically an even money fight. I like Rafael Espinosa. He's at plus 105. So I suppose a minor upset. When I did my video, he was at plus 110. He's down to plus 105 now. That's not that that's a huge difference. But Espinosa at plus 105. I like the odds on that. I would take that. Do we have props on this? Fight to go the distance. I like it to go the distance. I really like this to go the distance. I like this to go the distance. Total rounds over 10.5. Same, not much difference there. And Espinosa on the money line. I like this. Espinosa, the over. Espinosa, the over. The fight to go the distance. Any combination of bets like that, I really, really like. I really, really like those bets. Here's a bet I like too. Either fighter to be knocked down, minus 165. If there's any knockdowns in the fight, it's at minus 165. I much like that bet. I much like that bet. I like that. That's a bet I like. So we got some interesting bets. Espinosa, I think was the upset of the year last year. I gave him no chance to win the first fight, and he shocked me by beating Ramirez. Ramirez to me is a jack of all trades. He's a master of none. He can fight on the outside. He can fight in the mid range. He can fight going backwards, but he's not really dominant in any of those three things. He's one of those guys where it's like, yeah, he looks good, but what's he really doing? And Espinosa is just gonna keep him out range, walk him down, break him down. I think this is gonna look a lot like the first fight, and I think Espinosa just edges this out. But this is a bet I like a lot. I think this goes the distance, but I definitely like Espinosa. I like a knockdown. I like it to be a knockdown in this fight for sure. I would bet on that minus 165. And then in the main event, Navarrete and Valdez. I like Navarrete. I like Navarrete by decision. I think this definitely goes the distance. I like Navarrete. I like over 275. And a bet I think is very sexy. It's Navarrete by decision at plus 110. These are the three bets I would look at. Navarrete by decision, Navarrete on the money line, and over 10.5. Over 10.5 at Navarrete are both paying about 270. I think these are interesting bets. I definitely like Navarrete to win. I don't think Valdez can do much differently. Valdez doesn't jab much. He kind of relies on head movement to get in and out, and I think he's going to get hit a lot. He gets hit a lot. I don't think he can consistently work his way in. And on the inside, Navarrete's got a beautiful uppercut. So this is just a really, really tough fight for Valdez to win stylistically. I think it's a barn burner. I think the winner of this fight is the fans, no matter what. Like, the fans win. This is a great fight, but ultimately, I don't see how he can make adjustments. I don't see what he can do differently. He's got to load up. He's got to land, and he loads up all the time, so that's not going to be the issue. So he's got to load up on that left hook, nail him with the left hook, and then break him down, chop him down. Break him down, chop him down, and he can get him out if he can. But he's got to look, Navarrete's going to win rounds on the volume and the pressure, and Valdez doesn't, he throws a lot of one at a time. He loads up. I don't see him being able to win rounds, and he's got to stop him. And maybe Navarrete can be had. Navarrete's coming off a loss. That's possible. I like the over. I like Valdez. I like Navarrete. If Valdez is going to win, I like him by knockout. I don't think he's going to win a decision. My bet here, my gut instinct is Navarrete by decision, and Navarrete by decision is paying positive money. It's paying plus 110. So that's interesting to me. I would look at that. I think that's a fascinating bet. Navarrete by decision. Plus 110. Also over 10.5 and Navarrete, of course. What is the fight to go the distance? Minus 210. Minus 215. I'm sorry, minus 215 for it to go the distance. That's an intriguing bet. Roger's in the house. What up, Raj? Hello, Gary. Glad to see you on your show today. Hey, it's been a while, Raj. It's good to have you back. Your family, and you always have a place here. You always have a home here. It's good to have you on, Raj. I'm just gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna review, and then if you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, super chat, different thing like that, let me know. Tomorrow is the biggest fight of my life in Supreme Court. Wish me luck. I will, Raj. I don't know what this is a reference to. I think you're a good dude. I have no idea what that it means, but I will send you out my prayers, Roger. Have an awesome night. I will keep you. Please do, Roger. I don't know what that means, brother, but be good, man. I hope I pray for you. I pray for you, and I pray for your outcome, and I hope justice is served, and I hope everything works out for you. Henry LeBron by decision. He hasn't fought since last November. See, the decision is tough, Rocket. Like, yeah. Let me get back to this. And we're gonna get to that card on Friday. We are gonna do that on Friday. Henry LeBron by decision. That depends on Christopher Diaz. That depends on Pitufo. If Pitufo wants to fight, if he comes to win, yes, he's going to lose by decision. If he just lays down and he's just there for a paycheck, then he's getting knocked out. So here's the thing. Christopher Diaz is shot. He's not going to win a world title. But he's still a dangerous fighter. And he can make a fight. He's also in his home. He's also in his backyard. He's in Puerto Rico. Does he want to give the crowd, the home crowd, a show? My guess is he does, and my guess is he's going to fight to win. So my guess is, yes, this goes the distance. I like LeBron by decision. Let me ask you this, my man. Let me ask you this, Rocket. What odds are you getting for the decision? What odds are you getting on that decision? Let me know what odds you're getting for LeBron by decision. You didn't put that right. I like that would be my guess. If I were to make a prediction on that fight, you got it. So I just want to review this. The bets I would make. Giovanni Santillan, money line, minus 3,500. Safe, easy bet. Frederick Lawson is a shot. You know. Richard Torres, minus 1,800. Take it. Easy money. Richard Torres. If you can get a prop on him to get the stoppage, bet him to get the stoppage. Zamora, I would pick to win, but I don't think it's worth the risk. Navarro, I'd pick to win. I don't think it's worth the risk. Barrera, I just think, like, you can bet Barrera. He's almost certainly going to win, but Juan Medina is a real good fighter. Like, this is not a give me. This is they are matching him tough. Like, Medina is a real fighter. If I would have bet on this, I wouldn't bet on this fight. I would bet Medina. I'd say let's hope for the best here. I think Medina has a shot to pull the upset at minus 1,800. F it. I'm just gonna roll the dice. I would not minus 3,500. Opera, that juice is not worth the squeeze. I would not touch that. I wouldn't touch it under any circumstance. Lindolfo Delgado, Jackson Marinas. I'm going to do a video on that next. So make sure to check that out. Delgado Marinas. The video for that will be out tomorrow. And then on Friday, Thursday. Okay, the other two fight Espinosa. Couple of bets I like on this. Espinosa plus 105. I like Espinosa for the win. Either fighter to be knocked down. I like that prop at minus 165. And I like the over at minus 225. So the three bets I like on this. Over, Espinosa, there will be a knockdown. Navarrete, I like at minus 270. I feel you're safe with that. I don't see how Valdez can make the adjustments. Over 10.5. I like that. And Navarrete by decision or technical decision is plus 110. I think that's a good bet. And the fight to go the distance. So the four bets I like in the Navarrete versus Valdez fight. Navarrete money line. Over 10.5. Navarrete by decision. And the fight to go the distance. Those are the four bets I like. Look, I don't hate this Rocket. I really don't hate it. But he's not going to win, right? And this is kind of how I feel in the Pereira with Juan Medina fight. Like, it's a hell of a fight. It's a great fight. You know what? I'd probably feel better about Diaz at plus 1,200 because he is in his backyard. We could get Pitufo by robbery. Pitufo by travesty would be in the mix, I suppose. I would imagine that's could be in the cards. Rocket, Minus 230 for LeBron. It's not a bad bet. I don't love it. I was hoping it was going to be close to even. It's going to be minus 105, thing like that. Minus 230. It's not a bad bet. There's probably better bets to be made. I mean, you could basically get Navarrete on the money line for the same odds. I would feel more comfortable betting Navarrete money line than LeBron by decision. But it's not a bad bet. I was just hoping the odds were going to be closer to even. Fast car. Eddie Hearn, my man. Fast car, Eddie the Hitman Hearns. What's good, my man? I don't have odds on this. I don't know all that much about Dylan Moran. I know he's an Irish fighter. What card is this on? This isn't on the Magnificent Seven. What card is this on? I didn't even know about this fight. I can't. Saturday's busy for me. Saturday's busy for me. Uh, 23 says, all the way from Chicago, Oscar didn't hurt Navarrete first fight. Oscar looked F up. Oh, it's Pro Box card. Interesting. I gotta watch. I know who Dylan Moran is. I know he's from Ireland. I'm intrigued by this. I'm gonna look into this fight. What I don't have any odds on it. What odds are you getting? Like, what's the book on this? That's an interesting fight. Yeah, Pulev to win for sure. Char had 2 hip replacements, and it's yeah. Pulev to win for sure. Agreed. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap this up in just a minute, unless y'all have any last minute questions, comments, thoughts, super chats, anything like that. Let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap this thing up in a couple of minutes. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with World of Wrestling, I believe, on a mixed money parlay. We're gonna do another mixed money parlay. We're gonna try that again. Get your plus money mixed parlay tomorrow. We're gonna try to get that for you. About even. Moran is slightly underdog slightly, and it's in his backyard. McKenna Chin gone. Interesting. Moran's not much of a hitter, though, is he? I know he lost. He got stopped in the first round by Florian Marcoux. I'm trying to. Where else have I seen him fight? Do we like Dylan Moran, Rambler? Let me know. Yeah, Rambler is breaking news for all of us. Didn't even know there was Pro Box this weekend. So many fights. Yeah, this is a great Saturday to make money on. Rambler, you like Moran by stoppage? I like the over. I think this fight's going the distance. I like the over. I like the over 9.5, my man. I would take the over 23. Hey, 23. Let me ask you this question. So my wife, her family is originally from Chicago. I mean, she was born here, grew up here and everything, but her family, her dad from Chicago, my dad grew up in Chicago, huge Bears fan. My wife's a huge Bears fan. What do you think so far of Caleb Williams? Like, I didn't like him coming out of college. I didn't think he was a great prospect. I wouldn't have spent the first pick on him. And, like, you can take whatever you want out of him, right? Like, he's got the lowest completion percentage on passes of at least 15 yards ever recorded. There's that. He has played you out of several games in the first half. There's that. But he also has some great games. He's also been money in the second half. Like the second half of the Bears game, he looks fantastic. What do you make so far of Caleb Williams through whatever it's been, 12 games or what have you? I don't know what to make of Caleb Williams. Oh yeah. Ebersol. Oh man. The offensive coordinator. Let's see. The offense has gotten better. It's gotten better since Eberflus and the OC was fired, and now Thomas Brown, I guess that's his name, went from OC, but went from an offensive coach to the offensive coordinator to now head coach. And you can see he's game planned Caleb better, and Caleb has played better with him for sure. Yeah, the coaching was a problem. Ebersol was as bad a coach as I can remember seeing in the NFL. Adam Gase, he was bad, man. He was bad. So, I would just kind of give Caleb a pass on this season. I wouldn't make too much of it either way, and let's just see what he can do next year. But he certainly shows promise. He's better than I thought, but at the same time, when he's bad, he looks like Zach Wilson on a bad day. When he's good, he's pretty good. I don't know what to make of him. I really don't know what to make of him. No interceptions the last 4 games. Yeah, he throws a lot of safe passes. The offensive scheme was so bad. It was like everyone was either very short or very deep. I don't like Caleb under pressure. He's got to get it out quick. Again, I don't know what to make of Caleb. You can make out of Caleb if you want to point out all of his great plays and what he's done in the second half of the games. You can do that. If you want to point out to all of his warts, you can do that too. He's been an enigma this year. I don't know what to make of him. I think next year, make a decision. I would probably keep Brown. I honestly would. Bring Brown back. Or bring in Kingsbury, Cliff Kingsbury, the OC at Washington, work with Caleb in USC. I would think those would be the 2 options. They could have a bunch of wins. They could have at least 3 more wins. Eberflus was like the worst coach ever, man. All right, I want to get back to boxing. I just wanted your thoughts on that. My wife's a big Bears fan. That whole side of her side of the family, all huge Bears fan. They went to the game in Houston, second game of the season, I guess it was. All right, yeah. Let me know what you guys think. Any last minute box? I appreciate that 23. I really do. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. If any last minute questions, comments, thoughts, super chats, hit me with them now. Otherwise, thanks, Caleb. Let me know if you guys have any last minute questions, comments, thoughts, super chats, different things like that. If not, I'm going to wrap this up. It's December 4th, 2024. From Texas to the world, thank you, and God bless.